What is going on, baby? It is Lord Scuba Cobra bringing you episode 3 of season 3 of Somewhat Supernatural. And today I have a co-host with me, a very special guest. Today I am bringing on one of my dear friends, my buddy Rudy. I've known him for years, and we're going to talk about the Slender Man. Now, I know this isn't a real thing, but that's why it's somewhat supernatural because it could be real, it could be fake. Who knows? But we'll get into that. But first and foremost, I'm going to bring him on camera right now. Ladies and gentlemen of Somewhat Supernatural, my boy Rudy. What's up, baby?
Hey, what's up, man? What's the deal? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I actually just got done recording another podcast before we jumped on this one.
You're a busy man. Busy man.
Dude, I love recording podcasts. So I was with my buddy Ben, and we did an episode of Recycled Corn.
Which I heard a couple episodes, man. I heard a couple episodes.
It's a shit show, bro.
Cool.
We just talk a lot of shit on there. You know, I say the stuff on there that I can't say on here. You know what I'm saying? So, But yeah, it was a chill episode. We had a special guest. I'm sorry, I forget his name, but it's one of Ben's buddies from work, and he's a local comedian also. So it was a really weird episode. We got into talking about jalapeno seeds in your pee hole. Yeah. It got like it got way out of left field. So, like I said, today,
this thing?
Of course, we're fucking adults. We can say whatever the hell we want. I'm not trying to censor anybody.
I'm a grown-ass man.
You are a grown-ass man. I've known you since you were a wee little thing for fucking, damn, how long have I known you now? For about 18 years or so?
Probably, yeah, I was about to say it's years. Yeah, so right when I think I was 21 and or maybe 22, because you're 1 year younger than me, right? You're 40.
I'm 40.
Now? Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, but I'm turning 41 like next month. So.
Oh shit, you're older than me. I never knew you were older than me. I thought you were younger than me, bro.
I mean, I look younger.
You only got me a couple of months. You do look way younger. Always have. So those of you that don't know my buddy Rudy over here, we met a long time ago at this bar called O'Malley's, and goddamn it, we had some great times. He was my singing buddy. We would get on stage, and he had a band, and I had a band, and it was like good times. You know what I mean? We even auditioned for The Voice together, which was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. How old
were we? Gonna be?
Yeah. But we were like,
we were still in our.
Yeah, we were like in our 20s. Weren't we?
Maybe. Like I was gonna say we were still in our 20s. Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
That was a good time though. That was fucking fun. I will always love that fucking story just for the shit that happened in the lobby.
Yeah. I know. Classic.
Yeah, classic shit. But so, you know, we're on a paranormal podcast, somewhat paranormal. We usually, you know, when I first started this show, it was supposed to be like, okay, here's the paranormal aspect, but here's what it could be. And I kind of strayed away from that.
Kind of like debunking a little bit?
Yeah, kind of like debunking. And so that's why it was called Somewhat Supernatural, because it's like, it could be, but, you know, here's the logical reasons why. And I just totally, completely said, fuck that. We're just going to talk about the scary aspects of it. And then, you know, we never went back. But last episode, I did a debunking video on videos on YouTube of paranormal stuff. So my buddy Joe jumped on, my buddy Loki jumped on, and we just kind of watched some paranormal videos and, you know, said, fuck it. What could this be? How can you explain this? And so we're kind of doing the same thing here with the Slender Man. But like I said, we know Slender Man is not real.
Yeah.
You know, Slender Man was a creepypasta that was created. But
my favorite was the rake.
Oh, dude, the rake's a great one. Yeah, but the rake's a lot like a Wendigo. Oh shit, you're not supposed to say that word. I think so. I mean, it looks like what a traditional one would look like.
I always see the one with the antlers and
yeah, but that's a Hollywood. That is a Hollywood version. So the real, and I did do an episode on the Wendigo. And explained that the one with the antlers and stuff, that's a Hollywood version. That's not the traditional version.
I like the Hollywood version.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the original, you know, Native American version of it because it's terrifying. You know what I mean? It's a human that eats flesh and then just
people,
fucking ends up turning into this monster. So the rake kind of has a lot of similarities visually to what the original Wendigo looked like. So one question that I always ask my guests when they're on here is, have you ever experienced anything paranormal?
Oh man, absolutely. I've always had a thing for seeing like shadow people. Like
Mm,
I haven't seen so many in the past like 2 years or so, but I know ever since I was a child, I would always just out the corner of my eye, I would see a shadow move. But I think the creepiest one, or it's not really creepy, it's more just freaky. I was probably like 6 years old, laying in my bed, and my mom was in the bedroom next door, and I just woke up in the middle of the night, just sat right up, looked forward, and the wall was being remodeled. So there were plaster marks where they're taping and floating, and staring at it when I said it, and I saw an old man with his arm around the child. The kid, I mean, I could see detail. I could see the shirt, I could see the hair, I could see his pants, like overalls. See so much
mhm,
detail even in that little kid. And I just sat up and I stared at them for probably about like a good, felt like 5 seconds,
mhm.
and it completely went away. I have things like that. Used to live in Ropstown, born and raised out there, and one of my first houses that I outside, being an adult wise, we had a upstairs attic being converted to a third bedroom, but it was
Mhm.
creepy as fuck. Went up there. That room was completely boarded off, and we would never go up there. I know when I used to my little workout, and I had to pass through that hall to get to that little. And whenever I'd lifting weights, laying down on the bench, I would see something pop its head out from the doorway and pop its head back. And as soon as I'd look, it was gone. But it
Yeah.
happened all the time. And even when I would go to the other side of the house, I would see, and it never left that hall. It never wanted to step foot on the main floor. It was just from the stairs. And
Mhm.
until one day I got a really, really close look at it, and I go, "Holy shit, that's a little girl." It's a little girl like sticking her head out from the side of the door, popped her head back. And I think about a year and a half later, I'd always seen this little girl, and I knew she was there. And I had my ex wanted. She kind of participated in Reiki, which is like kind of like
Mhm.
getting your body rid of. It's kind of like getting your cards read, but you're doing your body. And
Yeah.
we had that lady come over and bless our house. We said, "Hey, just I'm starting a lawn business." That was a long time ago. And when we came over, I had her bless the house and bless it and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
But she's walking around the house, makes her way upstairs, and she goes, "Can I have some self for a little bit?" I was like, "Okay." So me and my ex, we walk back downstairs, out for a little while, and she comes back in. "I have some news to share." I go, "Did you know you have a little girl that lives here?" And I just looked at her out, and I was like, "Yeah, I did." I go, "Who is she, and what is she doing here?" And
Yeah.
apparently, what the woman had told me, like in the early 1900s, this little girl lived maybe like 3 or 4 miles away when the place was nothing but fields. And her spirit kind of wandered and got trapped in her house, and she likes it there and stayed there. She never really did anything bad. I mean, there was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
never any things moving, but it was just affirming to have her little girl. And then a
Yeah.
little bit after that, she mentioned there's an older man there too as well, who I would see, and I used to think that was her too. See him in black, and he was usually in the kitchen or the bedroom area, and um, the wood was following this woman around as she's blessing. She would say, "The Senor is following me," and this is a white woman, so it's funny that she said Senor because apparently he was an older Mexican man.
Yeah.
Where he's tell, I think what she said is that he just liked our energy and came into the house and didn't want to leave. And as we go outside to bless my lawn equipment, I had a little box U-Haul truck, and that's where I had all my tractors and weed eaters parked. I told that woman, "Bless, I need money, bless it all." So she went in there, starts giving her blessings, and she's like, "Ha, the old man's in here." I go, "The old man can leave the house?" So he can leave the house. He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah. He can definitely leave. He just likes he likes your presence." And he said he's
Yeah.
happy for you, mijo. He goes, "Very." very happy for you, Mijo. He's very proud of you. He says that he wishes back in his day he had something like this, and he's very proud. And
Oh
kind
wow.
of touched my heart a little bit, but I thought it was
Yeah.
so cool. I go, oh wow, this is a good, good spirit. But yeah, I had a lot of run-ins with things of that nature.
Man, that's fucking crazy, man. You know what I mean? So like right now, I want to say what's up to Joe on Facebook and Lindsay, right, Meowful. How's it going in the chat right now? For some reason, the chats aren't popping up from Facebook on our stream here, so I have my phone open. So if I look down, I'm not paying attention to you. I just fucking trying to make sure everybody is heard in the chat. So Lindsay says, were they the same or different time periods? Did she tell you at all? Like, were the little girl and the old man like from the same time period, or?
No, they were different time periods. I think she said that the old man was probably around like the 80s or so, the earlier, and the little girl was from like the early 1900s. I mean, she didn't give me an exact date, but the way she
Yeah,
said it
yeah,
to
yeah,
me, she goes, it's the early 1900s. Like this girl, I could never see her clothes. Like I
yeah,
sometimes out of the peripheral of my eye, even now when I'm doing lawn service and I'm in a certain property, I will totally catch somebody and I can see what they're wearing. That's a cowboy hat. That's a flannel shirt. And I look up and they're not there. But that little girl, I could never see what she was wearing. She was,
yeah.
only sticking her head out, mostly in black. But the woman that was doing the service for us, she did mention like period clothes, like early 1900 clothes that she was wearing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
good
I mean,
question.
and that area, that area is, I mean, I lived there for a short period of time when I was with my first ex-wife, lived in Robstown, and it was just always fucking spooky out there. Like you just get this weird feeling out there, and I don't know if it's because, it's just a small town or whatever, but it was just kind of a creepy feeling living out there. And I know that there used to be a lot of activity at her house. Her parents lived on Mary Street,
Mm-hmm.
and so like, and it was literally the only house right there on the corner. And I don't remember what the cross street was, but there's some apartments and shit there now, so it's grown from what it used to be. But I remember living there. I set up a video camera to record because shit would happen all the time, and it freaked me out because she would nonchalant just be like, "Oh, it's just my grandpa." And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, it's just your grandpa. Like, what the fuck? Like, I remember one time we were laying down going to sleep and something grabbed my foot. And
Oh
boy,
hell
I
no.
jumped the fuck up. I was like, oh, hell no. There was nothing there, of course. Then another time, we had converted our bedroom was the den, and we had converted it into our bedroom. And there was a sliding glass door to get to what used to be the garage, which was her parents' room. And every night, dude, every night at fucking 12:30, you would hear that fucking sliding glass door open, and then it would fucking close. And then you would hear
Damn.
noise. You would hear noise in the kitchen, and then nothing. Every fucking night, bro. And so I set up a camera one time to
Was it
record.
always around the same time?
Yeah, it was always around 12:30 every
Wow.
fucking night. And so I finally set up one of those, fucking old school shoulder camcorders
Yeah.
that
You gotta
we had
pop in the
back in the day.
VHS.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
fucking
pop in the
pop in the
VHS.
VHS. So I set it to record in the kitchen before I went to bed. And it had like a 8 hour or 4 hour fucking
Mm-hmm.
record time. But I was like, you know what? This is enough time that
Yeah.
I'm gonna be asleep by 12:30. So whatever it is, it will catch it. So when I woke up in the morning, I got excited because I was like, fuck yeah, like I caught something. So I woke up, went to the kitchen, all of the fucking cabinets were open.
Damn.
So I'm like, it had to be her brother or something, or somebody fucking around knowing that I was recording, because I had the camera hidden. Like I put a whole bunch of shit to where it
Yeah,
was just the
nice.
camera.
It's just
And
under the tortillas.
yeah, under the tortillas right next to the
Yeah.
comal. But
Oh, yeah.
when I went to watch it, it fucking blacked out.
No way.
I shit you not. And I wish
Damn.
I don't know if Shiva still has that tape or not, but it fucking blacked
Mm-hmm.
out. You don't see anybody walk into that kitchen. The camera just fucking blacks out, and then it
Wow.
gets all fuzzy, right? For
Wow.
5 minutes. 5 minutes of nothing but fuzz. And then when it pops back on, all the cabinets are open.
No way.
So I'm
That is
like,
awesome. I mean, that's pretty good though. I mean, you
that
didn't
yeah.
physically catch it, but that's still pretty good
Yeah,
evidence.
and you never saw
For yourself.
anybody walk into the kitchen. You never saw anybody fucking leave. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we ended up moving out, and that was that. But I mean, and even driving to Robstown, bro, like driving to Robstown from Corpus was just creepy as fuck, dude. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
man.
It
Well,
just
there's all those fields along the way, and
fucking
it's so
lechuzas
open and it's
everywhere.
dark. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. You got the
yeah,
lechuzas,
bro.
but it's dark as hell. Dark as hell.
Yeah,
And there's maybe like one street lamp every like 3 blocks or something. Robstown's dark as fuck, but Robstown don't give a shit. They're like, hey, let it be dark. They will survive.
let it be dark. Fuck them. They'll be fine. They've been here forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Barrera's chicken is still standing, so fuck it. Shout out Barrera's fried chicken.
Man,
if you've never had.
I went back and I had some, and goddamn fucking greasy.
Bro, it's greasy as fuck, bro, but it's so goddamn good. They give it to you in that brown paper sack. That's how you know it's gonna be good.
That shit is drenched. Do not put that on your car. You got to carry trash bags with you because it's just. But
leave it in the plastic bag.
People drive from Corpus all the way over there just for that chicken,
oh, dude,
man.
I took my grandma.
My aunts do it all the time. Oh,
yeah? I took my grandma a while back, about a month ago. I was like, let's go eat. And she's like, what do you want to eat? And she always wants to go eat Mexican food. I'm like, nah, let's go get some fried chicken. She's like, okay. She's like, let's go to Barrera's. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And I guess they had some like Halloween carnival or something like 10 minutes before we got there, because there was like candy all in the street, like all down fucking Main Street, like candy everywhere. There was people everywhere.
That's how it is in Robstown, like it was candy. It's very
it's Candyland over there. But no, and then Darkside had done an investigation at some bar that's there. I don't remember the name of the bar, but it's right there by the HEB. Oh my god, what is
there's the location. The location.
That's the one. Bar. Yeah, we investigated there. We investigated there twice.
How'd it go?
First time we were like, oh shit, there's actually something here. Second time we went, we did a more thorough investigation, and we heard a lot of shit. We saw a lot of shit. And then we realized, oh shit, it's the big ass rat or possum that's in the goddamn ceiling that's doing all this weird shit that we caught.
Even from the first time?
No, well, we don't know from the first time, but the second time, dude, I'm talking about this fucking rat was like that big with that, like not counting the tail, bro. It was fucking huge. Got it on camera, and we messaged them. We were like, hey, so
you got rats.
Rat. You got
rats. You ain't got no ghosts. You got rats.
You got rats. So, okay. So like I said, we're here to talk about the Slender Man. And like I said, we know the Slender Man isn't real, but I still wanted to touch on this subject because while it's not real, it did cause a very real, almost tragedy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the Slender Man is a fictional supernatural character that originated as a creepypasta on the internet. Back in like 2009, I think it was. He's depicted as a thin, unnaturally tall humanoid with featureless head and face, wearing a black suit. So one time I saw, and it was weird. I was probably about 10, 11 years old, maybe. My mom's friend's mom had just died in a car accident. Okay. We didn't know. I saw her walk up the fucking stairs and go to Mary's apartment because she lived on the top floor. And I was like, oh, Mary's mom's here. Cool. But I never saw her face. Like, it was weird. Like, I saw her, but I never saw her fucking face. So when I went to go tell my mom, I was like, Mom, Mary's mom's here. My mom was crying. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, that's impossible. Mary's mom just died in a car accident in Rivera.
How long before?
I don't know. I don't know if it was like around the time that my mom got the call or whatever, but it was weird because I was like, no, I just saw her walk upstairs. Like, she always had like these like floral print shirts and her hair done, and so I know it was her, but I just never saw her face. And so we went upstairs, there was nobody there. And like those apartments that we lived at, everybody was like a family that lived in those apartments. So, that's why everybody knew like everybody's parents and shit. And it was just like one big family. And so that always like creeped me out that I never saw her face. And even a couple other times when I've seen spirits, I don't see their face. So I don't know if that's like a common thing where if a spirit appears, like you don't really see their face. I don't know. But I mean, I've seen faces on shit before, but I don't know.
I know. Normally when I've seen things when I've seen things, it's usually like straight up like shadow people. You know, that's the one thing I've seen, and every now and then I'll see features, but it's never straight on. It's always through the side of my eye, but always
Yeah.
just people walking through the hallways or in the bathroom or in the kitchen. I can see through the living room and like, man, that's somebody just walked by there for sure.
So shout out to Brody Kane in the chat right now, all the way from Australia. He says, "Howdy doody," and then he says, "I got a Slender Man in my pants." Y'all invited to the pants party, yeah, buddy. So trying to keep up with the chat. Like I said, it's not for some reason it's not popping up on the chat here on Restream. I don't know if
Slap
it's
it.
because I
Just
don't know if it's because
slap the screen.
I know, right? I don't know if they're because they're commenting on like my video instead of the Project Louder version. I don't fucking know. Who knows? But stories of the Slender Man commonly feature him stalking, abducting, or traumatizing people, particularly children, kind of like Freddy Krueger. The Slender Man has become a pop culture icon, although he is not confined to a single narrative, but appears in many works of fiction, typically composed online. Fiction relating to the Slender Man encompasses many media, including literature, art, and video series such as The Marble Hornets, wherein he is known as the Operator. So I guess it's a show, and he's like a character in there. The characters appeared in video games, um, and he inspired the Enderman in Minecraft. And the only reason I know who the Enderman is because my kid used to play the shit out of
Yeah.
Minecraft back in the day. So, beginning in 2014, though, there was a panic which occurred over the Slender Man after two little girls that read his stories were connected to a near fatal stabbing of a 12-year-old girl in Wisconsin. And the stabbing inspired a documentary called Beware the Slender Man, which I believe it's on HBO Max still. It was released in 2016. I actually just watched it not too long ago, and it's fucking heartbreaking, man, because these little girls worshipped
Yeah.
Slenderman to the point where they were like, "We're gonna sacrifice our friend."
And they took her to the woods, right? They
They
took
took
her
her
to
to
the
the woods and fucking
woods.
stabbed her out, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and they
That's fucking
left her
crazy.
for dead. Like, they left her
Yeah.
for dead. And had she not crawled to the side of the road, she probably would have died. You know, it
Yeah.
would have been more horrific than what it actually was. But I'm glad that she lived. You know, and
Well,
not
I think they were making a movie about it, pretty much like a Slenderman movie,
they did
and
make one, and I watched it, and it fucking sucked.
well, yeah,
It fucking sucked.
I hear though that the reason why it really sucked was because they cut out a bunch of shit after, because right before it was about to come out in the movie theaters or wherever it came out, straight to DVD or wherever the
Yeah,
hell, that whole scenario was still unfolding, and
yeah.
they deleted shit because of because of the kids getting stabbed.
Yeah, and it's just it blows my mind, but that's how easily something like this can take life, because
I,
even though it was just a story,
mm-hmm.
in their minds, this was a real entity, and they were trying to summon this entity, whatever got in
Yeah,
their heads, and that's why I feel like when you give enough energy to something, even though it's just a story, you can bring it to life. You know, I wholeheartedly believe in demons and things of that nature. So when a something like that occurs, who's to say that this other entity can't take that form and basically draw off of the energy of the people believing this thing, and it's like, oh
yeah.
well, that's me now. You gotta fucking fear the real
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah, I
So
found it so strange though that the girls go with that character from Creepy Pasta versus anything else that's more mainstream, I guess you can say, or more realistic
yeah,
in a form. Going with the werewolf or going with the whatever, but to pick
yeah.
a creepy pasta is just, it is what it is. But yeah, really sad that it happened to that little girl.
And when I first started seeing videos of this, and even like I didn't know what creepypastas were. My kids knew what they were, but it was just something I didn't have any knowledge of. So they were talking about Jeff the Killer and the Rake
Mm-hmm.
and all these other creepypastas. I'm like, what the fuck is a creepypasta? So I started, doing research back in like fuck it was like '09, 2010, something like
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, oh shit, this is like really creepy because when
A
the
thing.
stories
Yeah.
first came out about Slender Man, it was just pictures with captions. And so you're
Hmm.
like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, I found this picture. Fucking 2 days later, everybody died in a school fire or some shit. And this is so like it just kept going and going. I'm like, is
Hmm.
this real? Like, is this something that somebody stumbled upon and just recently found this shit and is like, hey, check this shit out?
Hmm.
So, Slenderman was created on June 10th, 2009, on a thread in the Something Awful internet forum. The thread was a Photoshop contest in which users were challenged to create paranormal images. Forum poster Arid Knudsen, under the pseudonym Victor Surge, contributed 2 black and white images of groups of children, to which he added a tall, thin, spectral figure wearing a black suit. Although previous entities had consisted solely of photographs, Surge supplemented his submission with snatches of text, supposedly from witnesses, describing the abductions of groups of children and giving the character the name the Slender Man. So the first photo, it said, "We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them. But its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time." Then it said 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. The quote under the second photograph said, "One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slenderman. Deformities cited as film defects by official. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence. 1986, photographer Mary Thomas missing since June 13th, 1986. So
Yeah,
just
it's a
putting
good
those
backstory. That's
captions,
a
bro, like,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
read that and you're
Huge.
like,
Damn.
huh, interesting. So what did Brody say? Brody said, "Speaking of murders, I got blamed for one. Typical name mix up." What the fuck, Brody? You need to dial in and tell us this story? Like, what the fuck, bro? What's going on? So like I said, they though just adding those 2 things made those photographs, those
Yeah.
Photoshop photographs, into a work of fiction. So then there was posters that expanded upon the character and they added their own visuals and their own textual contributions. Um, so the Slenderman goes fucking viral, right? Fucking viral, spawning tons and tons of fucking fan art and cosplays, and then the online fiction creepypasta, which, if you don't know what a creepypasta is, it's horror stories told in short snatches of easily copyable text that spread from site to site. So I feel like creepypastas are like that game we used to play where you would tell somebody something and then they would tell the same thing to the next person.
Telephone.
Telephone. So it's like that. Somebody types something and then somebody else adds more and you
Hmm.
add more and you add more until it's this fucking thing that just blew up. Um, So many aspects of the Slenderman mythos first appeared, like I said, on the original Something Awful thread. One of the earliest additions was added by a forum user named S3Ep3, who created a folklore set in the 16th century Germany involving a character named Der Großmann, which was implied to be an early reference to the Slenderman. The first video series involving the Slender Man evolved from a post on Something Awful thread by user CE Gars, so Cigars. It tells of a fictional film school friend named Alex Krail who had stumbled upon something troubling while shooting his first feature length project. The video series published, it's in a found footage style. You can find it on YouTube. And it's just describing basically the mishaps with Slenderman that occurred. Um, in 2012, he made his video game debut, which I played the game Slender, the 8 pages, and it fucking terrified me. Like
So
that
it
game,
was. It's not craft one. So this is a different video game. The Slenderman video game.
yeah, there's an actual video game called the
Cool.
8 pages. So basically, in this video game, um, you had to go around and find these 8 pages to basically
Hmm.
stop the Slender Man from fucking killing you. But dude, it was impossible, bro. Like there was no fucking way to beat the game. I mean, I never
What
could
was
fucking
it
beat
like?
it.
Like a PC game or like an
It was like
Xbox
a PC
game?
game. I want to say it was on Xbox also, and it's just like
Really?
a first person view. You don't have no weapons or nothing. You're just running through like the woods in this house,
Oh
and
shit.
just fucking
So
weird. Yeah, it's a
you
fucking
just
weird ass game.
set up to die. It's a full
Yeah,
setup to
pretty
die.
much,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Run.
So Yeah, no shit. Exactly. It's fucking you had no hope. No hope winning this fucking game. So what I want to do is I want to do what I did last week with Joe and Loki. We are going to watch a video of Slenderman sightings caught on tape. This video comes from Chills. I don't know if you know who Chills is, but
Oh yeah,
he's the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
who talks like this. Number 12. That guy.
Number
So,
12.
number 12. I ate a whole pepperoni pizza. So
Dude, you sound just like him right there. Yeah, yeah. I
I
used to
only say
love
that
that
because
guy.
Joe said I once murdered an entire large pizza. Brody said I should probably send a video in explaining what I said. Yeah, do it. I'll fucking play it. You know I don't give a shit, Brody. It's my show. I do what I want. So let's bring this up. And like I said, while the video's playing, let's just because there's gonna be a fucking echo. I don't know why, but we'll figure that out later time. So here we go. Let's see this. Here we go. And
The legend of Slenderman has many different origins, but it always involves a long-limbed, faceless creature with a penchant for business suits and eating kids. Though just an internet urban legend, most of the people on this list say they thought he was just a myth until they saw him up close. Number 12. Two friends are making a random video on a trampoline somewhere out in the countryside. They appear to be all alone until a tall stranger in a business suit steps out from behind a shed and leers at them. The two friends quickly bolt in the opposite direction, and we don't get to see what happens next, so it's hard to say if this was a prank or not. One thing I noticed was how Slenderman's head comes up to the roof of the shed. This places him at about 7 or 8 feet tall, which is about the same size as the legends say. Then again, I guess it could have been a friend standing on something to give themselves more height. Number 11.
okay. So with that video, that could be anything. That could be,
Yeah.
and you can't really tell how tall that fucking shed is. You
No,
know,
no. It looks small. It looks
it looks like
small.
it's a small shed, so that could be
Mhm,
somebody standing on a fucking milk crate or something, and then you have that whole
mhm,
mound of fucking grass and shit right in front of it. So
mhm.
who knows? I don't like I said, I'm not gonna put too much believability into these fucking videos because, like I said, we know when this was created, we know it was fake. But
Mhm.
like I said, with things, you never know. You could give an entity enough energy to fucking create it,
I
make itself
mean,
real.
I
It's
mean,
like,
even just giving the desire for kids or a person,
yeah,
a man, just to dress up like it and do those
yeah,
heinous acts. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. But it's like, Wes Craven pulled that off nicely in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, with
mhm,
Freddy Krueger, where what we're watching is occurring in the real world, but
mhm.
Freddy makes himself come through to our world and makes
I
himself.
I totally need to see that movie again. I've heard so many references about it over the past couple of weeks and months. I totally need to sit down and watch that one
It's
again.
it's probably one of my favorite
I,
Nightmare on Elm
I,
Street.
I've heard that. I've heard that from a couple of different people. Like, oh, that
Yeah,
that one is like one of the best.
yeah,
Just
it's
because if
crazy.
somebody had mentioned it was ahead of its time.
It
Like
was.
it
Oh,
was it
definitely.
wasn't it wasn't as appreciated back then because it was just something that hadn't been done before.
Yeah, yeah. It's very, but because like I said, it brings back Heather Langenkamp, who doesn't play
Hmm.
Nancy, she plays herself. And so it's her,
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
know, granted it's actors that play her family, but it's supposed to be her real family and all these horrible
Mhm.
things are happening to them. And, she's getting the phone calls and the fucking tongue comes out of the fucking
That, that
phone.
that
Like,
that's the one where they're riding on the motorcycle right down the highway and it like
no, no, no,
starts
no.
to
That's
no
fucking,
different one.
I think that's Dream.
It's
That's
Judge
either
Dredd.
Dream Master or Dream Child. I
Hmm.
don't remember. I think that's at the beginning of one of them, I think. I'm not too sure. I know it's not Dream Warriors. I just watched fucking Dream Warriors. That's my favorite one too.
Yeah,
Fucking love
I
Dream
like.
Warriors.
Yeah,
They're great.
I like the ones with the comic book character, the guy with the 6 shooter, with
Yeah.
the guns. Yeah, is that
Yeah.
one it?
That's Dream
Yeah,
Master, I believe.
number
I haven't
4,
seen them in a while. Yeah, number
something like that.
4, I think, because Dream
Yeah.
Child's 6, maybe, or
Hmm.
5. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I just watch movies, bro. Let's see what the
Yeah,
next one is.
let's do.
A student is doing some schoolwork on his computer. When somebody comes in and starts recording, they have a short conversation that's interrupted by a large figure standing in the darkened doorway behind them. The creature's head almost touches the ceiling, and its arms are so gigantic and long that they don't even fully fit in the camera frame. Its arms look long enough to pluck them from the couch and drag them to their doom. Fortunately for them, the two friends get away just in time and take off. They glance back for a moment only to find Slenderman silently regarding them from the top of the stairs. Now that you've seen this on video, I'm eager to hear if you think this was a real Slenderman sighting or just someone in a really good costume.
That's a really good fucking cosplay. That's
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
is. That's a
I mean,
really
I
good.
mean, you don't really see much detail.
Yeah, but it's creepy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure.
I love. That's what I love about these creepy pastas is that they're creepy as fuck. You know what I mean? They even made a show. Jesus Christ, what was the name of it? It came out on Sci-Fi. Don't remember the name, but they turned some creepy pastas into actual like shows, and it was really cool.
Yeah. You know what? I think I saw a couple. I can't even remember her name. I think she was like a nurse or something like that. Or
I don't fucking remember.
yeah.
It's been a while. All right, let's see what this next one is.
I'm not sure where this short video comes from,
But
it's
it's probably
somewhere in Europe since they are driving on the left side of the road. The driver is traveling at a decent rate of speed when suddenly Slenderman descends upon them. It could just be a weird camera angle, but Slenderman looks extremely tall and lanky here. His limbs almost look too long to belong to a person. He's roughly half as tall as the light post he's standing next to. So to me, this is either a mannequin or the real thing.
I don't know. He fucking turns.
That
he
one was
turns and
good.
looks at them. That's a good one.
That was a good one. That was a
Like
real good one.
I'd get creeped out if I saw that
Yeah,
shit on the side of the fucking road.
Get back in the car and hit it.
That one's better than what we've seen so far. And
For
like I
sure.
said, I think I kind of see his head turn, so I don't think
Oh
it was a
yeah,
mannequin.
for sure. No, for sure. It turns slightly, but it turns.
So, all right, let's see what number 9 is.
A YouTuber named Travis Andrew Barker and his brother were watching the movie Titanic one day when his brother noticed someone in the background who looked completely out of place. Travis wasn't sure if his brother was just messing with him, but as it turns out, he was telling the truth after all.
If you can see right there, we pause the movie and there's Jack and there's Rose. If you look back there, you'll see the Slenderman.
I honestly can't say that I've seen this movie that many times, so I'm not sure how legitimate this sighting is. If you are familiar with the movie and recognize the scene, then please let me know what is going on here and explain who this mysterious background character is. If nobody can come forward with details, then this very well may be the first Slenderman sighting in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah,
Well,
just a dude. I mean, that could have been Fester from the Family Adams.
Yeah, but I mean, and Titanic came out so long ago, so I need to see like I need to see a 4K copy to verify if that is Slenderman or not. So,
and I mean, in that TV too, that TV.
Yes.
Like, who didn't have that exact TV? Like everybody I knew had that TV. That's really cool. Throwback.
So Brody sent me the video. Let me fucking download it. Download. Oh shit! It downloaded fast. Okay, so Brody's gonna explain how he was
mistaken identity for murder.
Mistaken. Yeah. Let me see. Show in folder. Let's put this on the desktop. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can share multiple fucking media on this shit. Brody's stories are ever great, man. I don't know if you ever fucking catch our fucking.
I did, and I caught the majority of the one where he came in the podcast and he talked about the tales from Australia and one of those documentary. I forget which one it was, but the story. I was listening to his story like really intently. I was like, man, that's creepy. Oh, it was the Tooth Fairy.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude,
yeah.
that was a damn good episode too. Like, especially having him on to be able to like talk about it and shit.
Yeah, just the accent, bro. Just the accent.
He's our Kano, our real life Kano. Let me see. Let me title it Brody Vid. Brody Vid. Okay, I like taking breaks like this and getting
Oh
the
yeah,
fun stuff on. You know what I mean? It's my
yeah, yeah.
show. I say this all the
Delay
time.
it,
I do
delay
what
it,
I
delay the
won't.
gratification.
All right, let's see what Brody's got to say.
So, quick little story time. Basically, what happened was a kid got murdered. He got stabbed. He had the same last name as mine, but it was spelt different. Obviously, no fucking relation whatsoever. Anyway, there was a Facebook fucking post about it. One of my mates from Melbourne thought it'd be a good idea to write something smart ass like in the comment section, and people didn't either read it properly or they didn't realise he was joking and being sarcastic. Then they obviously took that serious, and it spread like fucking wildfire, like the Salem witch trials. It was just basically Chinese whispers, word of mouth, and then the more that it progressed down the line, it got to the point where people thought it was me for some fucking reason. I don't know why. And then I got to work on the Monday, and someone said to me that actually it was my boss. He goes, "Have you been murdering people?" I said, "What the fuck are you even talking about, mate?" And he goes, "Oh, my daughter fucking said this, you know." And I said, "Well, we'll fucking soon find out, because they just said on the radio who they're going to... The cops have them in fucking custody already, the people who fucking did it." Anyway, he swore black and blue that it was me. Anyway, they announced the names over the radio. It wasn't even me. I had nothing to fucking do with it, you know. But a lot of people from that Saturday to the Monday were blaming me. Like, people were tagging me and shit. It was actually quite funny. I was laughing. And then the more that I thought about it, you know, I was thinking, oh, well, fuck, this is actually getting a bit fucking serious. I'm going to have the fucking police on my doorstep any minute now. But no, obviously it wasn't me. So... because I wouldn't be fucking here, would
I? Or would you? Or would you,
Yeah,
Brody?
yeah.
Or would you?
Like for that to go more than one day, or more than
But
like
you know
an
what?
hour or two, like
It
2
happened.
days, 3 days.
It happened to my buddy Kevin. You remember those people that were murdered out on the island and like they stole their RV and shit, and like they found their dead bodies on the fucking on Padre Island?
About
It was
how
a
long
few
ago?
years ago. Probably about
Mm.
5-6 years ago, something like that. It was like a double murder,
It sounds familiar.
and they were looking for these people. Well, some dude was like, "Oh, that looks like Kevin Harris," and tagged Kevin, and people were like, "Yeah, that is him. That looks like him." Dude, it didn't look nothing like Kevin. And then come to find out, the guy that started the whole shit was Kevin's sister's ex-husband, who Kevin had just whooped his ass. And so he was trying to get Kevin fucking arrested for fucking murder, bro.
Wow.
And it wasn't even Kevin. Like the cops came and like talked to him and shit. Like it was fucking crazy, bro. But it happens. It does fucking happen. So Joe said that could have been a scarecrow on the side of the road, which yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? Let's see number 8. Number 8.
A YouTuber named Lothvan hears a knock at 4:30 in the morning. This has been going on for quite a while, and he's finally had enough, so he grabs his camera and heads out. He films the
Hold on. First of all, if somebody keeps knocking on my door at 4:30 in the morning, I'm not grabbing my camera. I'm grabbing my fucking gun. That's all I'm saying.
outside scenery for a bit and catches nothing but crickets chirping under a night sky, or so he thinks. He looks at the video later and notices a small white face peering back at him from the shadows. Lothvan is now convinced that this is proof of how Slenderman stalks him and haunts his dreams at night.
Stop.
Not too sure.
I wanted to see that commercial. I was like invested into that commercial that just started.
I'm not sold. That just looks like it could be like a light post or something.
I was about to say, or a piece of clothes hanging on the clothesline or something.
I'm curious as to whether or not you think someone was really there, or if this all sounds made up.
Nah, I don't buy that one. That one, the video's way too fucking like, you could tell he lightened it up, but we don't know what was there in the daytime. Had he shown a video of what's in that area at the daytime, maybe it was something there, but I don't fucking buy it. Joe said number 12 the first one could have been a scarecrow. And then Brody says, I fucked my mate over after he wrote that comment, told him I was locked up and getting sentenced. Joe said number 8 was an alien. Hey, you could be. It was Roger from American Dad.
That could have been. Damn, it did look like him. Even that last one just kind of looked like him.
Okay, let's go.
I haven't
What?
seen Chill's in so long, but my favorite part of Chill's videos was randomly he would throw in there is like, if you want to see my face or how I look, you know, I forget how he would say it, but
Go to
Chill's,
my Instagram.
yes. Put in your zip code and social identity number. You know that dude was doing like, hey, you're back.
Yeah, and we're back.
No, I was gonna say, you know that dude was doing music too.
Yeah, but and that's why he was like staying like hidden, like hiding his face and shit.
Was it? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, he wasn't good looking, or you know, like there was no like big payoff. It was just
Yeah. It was just me and my ugly mug. It was really me. I just can't do it anymore. I've lost my chillsness.
You
All
lost
right.
your touch.
My touch. Let's get number 7.
A YouTuber named Scaredy Cat
Ooh,
thinks he
daytime.
saw a tall stranger rummaging around his property, so he goes into his house and grabs a phone to record with. He cautiously makes his way back to where he last spotted the intruder, and it isn't long before he finds him again. Actually, this time, it looks like Scaredy Cat is the one who is discovered instead of the other way around.
So I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and capture it on tape now. Okay.
A humanoid creature appears to be staring directly at him while remaining completely motionless.
That's a mannequin.
Scaredy Cat goes running down the street,
Doesn't
screaming
move.
for his life. His reaction sounds pretty genuine, but I'm not sure if this was a real sighting or not. It almost looks like a mannequin that someone could have put out there as a joke. Maybe it could even be an impersonator, running around pretending to be the real thing. It just doesn't seem to be the right height to be Slenderman, though some legends say that the creature can change its height at will.
Damn.
I don't buy that one.
So it can change its height at will as well. Damn it.
I mean,
I haven't heard that one.
They're making him OP like fucking Superman,
Like,
bro. He's
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
can
'cause-
do whatever.
I mean, you know, he can make, but his powers are limited to like stretching his arms and his legs, and that's
He's
it.
like Stretch Armstrong. He's a
Yes.
well-dressed Stretch Armstrong. So Brody says, when I go back home, I'll be heading to Port Fairy and I'll try to find the grave of the Tooth Fairy. Fuck yes.
Nice.
Take a picture, write my name on like a fucking post-it or something, and leave it on her fucking grave for me.
Brody should put a tooth on there, like get a tooth somewhere somehow.
I will pull out one of my teeth. Actually,
Mhm.
I have my wisdom tooth that they pulled out. I will
There you
fucking.
go. Mail
I'm
it.
not gonna say I'm gonna mail it because
Mail it.
it's a stupid amount to mail
Mail
shit
it.
to Australia. But
Really.
I mean, maybe I'll mail it to you and you can put my tooth on her grave. You know, I
That'd be
don't
cool.
know. No, because I don't want her coming to me in the middle of the night. I get scared. All right, let's see number 6.
This deer is eating some corn when suddenly
Corn!
it looks up as if something is approaching. The camera jumps ahead and barely manages to catch this strange fleeting movement on the right side of the screen. The shadowy figure has everyone talking about the possibility of Slenderman,
That's
who apparently has been rumored to
that's
be
more
in
of a
this forest
ghost
for
than fucking
years.
Slender Man.
It kind of looks like it might be wearing a business suit and has an all-white head completely devoid of all features. but it's
Where?
hard to tell for sure.
Chills, you're full of shit on that one. You're full of
Chills just
shit on
needs-
that one, Chills.
He just needs a couple extra fillers because he only had like 7 good ones. So now
Yeah,
it's just,
that
hey,
was a
he's
fucking.
wearing a suit for sure.
That was more a fucking shadow person than anything
Oh,
else.
for sure.
Brody said, I just got the comic from New York. It's great. You know, I'll fucking do it. Send us that tooth. All right. I will fucking send you my wisdom tooth to put on her fucking grave. Fuck it. Let me know so that way I can send it ahead of time. It's going to take about 2 weeks to get there. So let me fucking know and I'll send it to you. Okay. Let's see. Number 5. See if it's another
YouTuber
shitty
named
video.
Frostbitten looks out his window one evening and sees what he thinks is Slenderman peering up at him from below.
Where? That's a fucking tree.
You can see it much better when he moves away.
How was this
from
number
the screen
5?
door.
This should have been number 12.
Okay, maybe right there.
That's still a fucking tree.
Crap.
I do see what he's talking about, and
No.
so do some other viewers in the comments section. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like something with a pale head and long
No.
arms might be looking up at him.
It's a fucking
I can't really
tree.
make out if it's wearing a suit or standing behind the tree.
It's
then
a
again,
fucking
maybe
tree.
this human-like shape is simply light reflecting off of the woods.
It's a fucking tree.
It didn't move, so
It's a tree. Like you saw the other colors, like the color of the tree. It's the same shit. Damn you.
Or could it be a tree?
Brody said it's a shadow bastard. All right. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, that should have been like way earlier in the shit. Let's see number 4.
Imagine going out for a relaxing day on the beach and seeing this mysterious figure walking just a couple of miles away.
He's not even walking though.
This tall man with a bright white head and all black clothes walks towards the water
there he is.
as if nothing is out of the ordinary. I will add that this area looks pretty lonely, and there's really no reason for anybody to dress up like Slenderman as a prank here.
Why not?
It's too bad
There's
the
a-
person
this is
filming
literally the
wasn't
perfect
able to
reason.
get any closer, though I can certainly respect their desire to keep as much space as possible.
No,
Man,
that's.
you know, there was such better videos, and the fact that we're getting down to number 3.
I know, and these are shitty ones. Like, come on.
Wow.
Easily explainable. Let's see what number 3 is. We're just gonna fucking blow through these.
This surveillance footage looks like it was taken on an academic campus of some sort. The security camera is glitching out and skipping frames, which is supposed to be a clear indication that Slenderman is near. Look closely here, and you can see a transparent figure in the upper left. Then, without warning, a tall figure is suddenly looming over a young boy. Slenderman yanks the boy high into the air by both arms.
What the fuck?
That seems pretty good for a second, and then
Quickly cuts off. I noticed in the bottom right corner that this camera was marked camera 01, but I wasn't able to find footage from any of the other cameras.
But he doesn't look
if
taller
somebody
than-
recognizes this
He's
location,
normal.
then maybe we can do some more precise investigating and get to the bottom of this mysterious sighting.
That looked like just somebody
A dude.
kidnapping a kid. Some
we
dude
just saw
fucking kidnapping a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
A
Kidnapping.
group of friends are recording themselves lifting weights and basically
them
just
gains, baby,
joking
get them
around in a
gains!
small gym. The situation suddenly becomes very serious when one of them leaves the room and then comes rushing back to bang on the glass for help.
You say I ain't gonna pick you up.
4.
No way. What? Is it? Where you doing?
A tentacle-like appendage seems to wrap around their friend's waist and pulls him away. The group goes outside and searches for their friend Nathan, but he has vanished. Then another friend goes missing too.
There. I could count as one.
The 2 survivors run back into the building to talk about what just happened. One of them is in complete denial and thinks that they are simply being pranked. They are talking about whether this is really happening or not, when suddenly their worst fears are confirmed.
You're not laughing at this? This is crazy. This is hilarious. That's nasty. Man, that's nasty.
Well, there is a strong possibility that this could be CGI. The uploader has not come out and said that this was a short film.
Oh,
Instead,
totally
they
fucking
insist
CGI.
it's real. Most of the people in the comments section agree that this is authentic, but I definitely like to hear what you think. Before we
It was good for a moment.
It was, but it's obviously fucking CGI. And
Handmade.
this is not me being racist at all. All I'm saying is, you know, black folk ain't going out in the fucking middle of the night to go see some fucking scary shit. I'm just saying, you fucking know it. I know it. I can call some people up right now and they will fucking confirm. Black folk ain't going to check that. You know how I know too? Because us brown folk ain't going to check that shit either. Sorry, homie. You gone. You gone.
I look out the glass. That's it.
Oh, here's your favorite part. You ready? Ready? Here's your favorite part.
Yes.
Here it
What
goes.
you think
Hold on.
before we get to number one. My name is Chills, and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If
Oh
you're
my God.
curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, then go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number one entry. Chills merch is now available, and I'm gifting viewers who spend over $100
I'm gonna let him do his spiel here
with
since
a
we're using his
100%
video for my
free
purposes,
Foot lettuce
so.
t-shirt
Makes
to
sense.
show my
Makes sense.
appreciation. This offer won't last forever, so get yours by visiting chillsmerch.com. Also, follow me on Twitter at YT_chills because that's where I post video updates. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person.
Alright, shut up
So
and
if you're
get the fucking number
Geo,
one.
I upload every Thursday. Riding around.
Number one.
Two friends are riding around in the country when they come across an old house that gives off a strange feeling. They have nothing better to do, so they decide to investigate the old wooden structure in search of adventure. They are still outside of the house when their camera starts to mess up, a clear sign that Slenderman is near.
Easily done in fucking any fucking
They don't
video
think
app.
much of the electronic disturbance and continue to poke around the perimeter. Eventually, they find a doorless entrance and step inside, and that's when things go terribly wrong. Something bad seems to have wrecked this house. It's trash from the inside, and a part of it has collapsed in ruins. They aren't in there for long before they decide they've seen enough and want to leave. But when they go for the exit, something goes for them.
Oh, that.
Oh shit.
Slenderman reaches for them, and the sound cuts out on the camera as they scramble for a different exit. They barely make it out alive. According to many believers, this still frame is the closest anyone's ever come to capturing Slenderman's true form. Your shadow follows you wherever you go, and perhaps
It looked like a trash bag on his head. I mean, at the end.
Yeah, but they, like he said, the true form. So maybe, you know, like I said,
Maybe he's got a trash bag. True
maybe
form.
he's fucking trash bag ghost. So Brody said something
Ooh.
about what I said, but I'm not gonna say it because I ain't trying to get canceled, Brody. But your comment is fucking hilarious. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll tell you after the show, Rudy. I will tell you after the show.
Thank
So,
you.
what do you think? Could Slenderman? Excuse me. Could Slenderman be real?
No,
No,
but
not at all.
But I definitely think there could be things out there that maybe people could mistake for. That there's definitely tons of spirits and tons of cryptids and all kinds of shit. So I mean, what's really cool is like I watch these videos like all the time. I have marathons with them, so totally fun to check them out and shit. But no, I Slenderman himself, the real one, no. I mean, I just can't picture a ghost or a spirit with a fucking suit on and tie. It's just seems a little overdone.
Well, okay. So with you saying that, one of the entities that I always talk about on this show is the Hat Man. Have you ever heard of the Hat Man?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that is an entity, a spirit that wears a fucking trench coat and a hat.
And the hat.
And so, I mean,
a lot of times though, when people do see it or it has been seen, it's usually somewhat like a shadow person though.
yeah,
For the most
completely-
part.
dude, I've seen him like 3 or 4 times, and every time
Mhm.
it's a fucking dark shadow, darker than the fucking darkest room.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
you make out the fucking outline. Like I've never seen his face, I've
Mhm.
never seen eyes. It's just dude, I get chills every time I talk about this motherfucker. I don't want to see him again ever in my life because it's fucking terrifying. But I don't know, man.
You gotta just sleep on your back.
Yeah, no. If you sleep on your back, you have a better chance of experiencing sleep paralysis. That is why I never sleep on my back.
I know. That's why I said it.
But there are some times where I experience sleep paralysis and I'm able to like kick out of it right away because I'm like, nope, not gonna fucking happen. Like I'll move my toe or something, and I'm like, I'm I'm good.
Yeah, I've never ever had sleep paralysis, to know what it's like. But to me,
I
I'm
hope
always
you have
like,
it
they're
tonight.
probably just dreaming.
I
But
hope you have
so
it
many
tonight.
people. No, no, no,
I
no,
hope you
no.
have it tonight because Rox ain't there to comfort
I
you.
know. I was about to say my girlfriend's out of town. All I got is the little baby kitties, and they ain't gonna do shit. They will eat me if I don't feed them in like 3 days. So it's no help there.
Well, man, is there anything else you want to talk about? We've been hitting this an hour already.
Like who is one of your favorite cryptids?
One of my favorite cryptids. Oh god damn, man. There's a ton, but I mean, I got to go with the OG, man, Bigfoot. I
Bigfoot.
love Bigfoot sightings. I love Bigfoot lore. I love the possibility that there could be this giant ape-like creature that we just haven't caught yet.
The whole thing that gets me is like with the Bigfoot thing. I'm like, why don't people send like hundreds of fucking drones out there and just like floating around all fucking night, with thermals and
because he's
and shit and
interdimensional. He can.
Oh
yeah, you didn't know
he
that,
can teleport,
bro?
What?
He doesn't teleport. He
He's
goes
like
to a different dimension, bro.
Inside of a tree. So
Inside
it's
of a
kind of
tree,
like
he can fucking
it's kind of like Stranger Things where he goes
into the
the
upside
invisible
down, and
world.
that's why we can't
Wow.
fucking find.
Damn.
Joe said, "Sleep face
That's
down, ass
interesting.
up."
Ooh.
And then
good times.
Joe's favorite cryptid is a skinwalker, which is not my favorite thing to talk about. And I hate saying the fucking name. I've been on a couple of podcasts talking about them, and yeah, those are terrifying. And that I want to do another episode about skinwalkers because there's been a shit ton of videos coming out from here in Texas, like on trail cams and shit, of what people think are actual fucking skinwalkers. And I'm like, oh, that's terrifying. I don't want to see that shit. So what about yours? What's your favorite cryptid?
Oh man, like you said, there's a whole bunch, but the skinwalker werewolf kind of vibe is kind of like what I love. I've always been in. So if anyone can transform into and of course there's always just the creepy, shadow people, always like that's just the thing that just trips me out, and I've always seen them. And I remember when I was younger, I used to, well, back then I was much younger, but I used to get high and shit too, and get all high and buzzed. And I would totally see that shit even more. And they were like, oh, it's just because you're high. If anything, I thought it heightened my sense to see things even more. So I kind of like pushed back from it. So I didn't like to get high and see shit, But yeah, those are some of my favorites.
Okay, cool. So Joe, all right, Joe, we're going to do another episode. We're going to do a second take on the skinwalkers. So you're going to be my co-host on that one, buddy. And we will talk about them again. And we will show the videos that I'm talking about because they're fucking creepy as shit. So do you have any projects going on that you want to talk about? Give a shout out to any of your socials, your company, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, but if anyone needs or wants to know, Rudy, Rosas, my name, and I'm the business owner of the Lawn Ranger Onto Lawn and Tree Services out here in Corpus Christi, Texas. So we do a little bit of commercial, residential, but if anybody needs to get a hold of me, Google. That's where everybody just streamlines in through. So tons of telemarketing, tons of people calling me constantly. So if I don't answer, just leave a message.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for being on. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, the ghost daddy himself, Lord Scuba Cabra, saying, see you on the next episode of Somewhat Supernatural. Stay spooky.